Good afternoon. The city of Albuquerque is cleaning up after a night of protests against presidential candidate Donald Trump. Some protesters were peaceful, but many turned violent and destructive, leaving a half dozen officers injured. And that's put New Mexico into the national spotlight. News 13's Madeline Schmidt is live in downtown Albuquerque, where the chaos unfolded, with the story. Madeline.
Yeah, well, Kim, the protests around the convention center escalated as the night fell. Windows were broken, rocks were thrown at police and police horses. Now APD is trying to figure out who was behind all of that. Presumptive Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump quickly came and left Albuquerque yesterday for his rally. But the protesting against him went well into the night and turned ugly. Fights broke out on the streets.
Everybody calm down.
Rioters clashed with law enforcement.
You guys need to work a little faster.
At one point, rocks, a barrier, and water bottles were thrown at police horses. APD says its horses went to the vet today to be checked out after getting pummeled. 6 APD officers were injured by rocks last night, too, and a state police cop was hit with a broomstick. 2 state police units were also damaged when people ran on top of them. City Councilor Dan Lewis took to Facebook, placing blame on what he called a riot on groups like Southwest Organizing Project and Progress Now New Mexico. His fellow councilor Pat Davis is the executive director of Progress Now New Mexico. He called Lewis misinformed.
Our event was a table where people could register to vote and make signs, and it packed up and concluded before the Trump rally even began at 7 o'clock.
Meanwhile, Southwest Organizing Project says its protests were also peaceful, but directly points the finger at Trump for the unruly behavior last night.
We've seen that kind of violence everywhere that he goes, and he's the common denominator with all of it.
This is so exciting.
Now, APD says that 4 people were arrested yesterday. 2 of them were juveniles inside the rally. Another was a woman inside the rally, and then a man outside of the rally. And police do say that more arrests are likely coming. Kim, back to you.
Thank you, Madeline. Now, as you heard, protesters made it inside the convention center while Donald Trump was speaking. The presidential candidate called them out, even taking a jab at a couple of teenagers.
How old is this kid? Get out of here. Still wearing diapers.
It's unclear if the 2 teens were the juveniles cited by APD. The mayor and city councilor Ken Sanchez also reacted to what happened last night. Both started by praising and thanking APD and the peaceful protesters. Sanchez said in the face of rock and bottle throwing, APD officers stayed calm and professional to get the crowd under control. And both made it clear that it was not the peaceful protesters who caused this, but a, quote, small but organized group of troublemakers whose sole intent was to act out. The mayor says APD will work diligently to hold those who caused this accountable. Donald Trump turned to social media following last night's protest, posting on Twitter, quote, the protesters in New Mexico were thugs who were flying the Mexican flag. The rally inside was big and beautiful, but outside, criminals.